Where the bloody hell have I been, eh? Where the bloody hell have I been? That's right, folks. This is the belated, absolutely monstrously, completely, bizarrely late Blackburn Rovers Millwall review, and it's coming at you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another Blackburn Rovers review, folks, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button and keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, whoa, football related, all here under one Roadskis. That's right, folks, we are back. And it is, I don't know, a good 24, maybe even 36 hours after the game. Maybe it just took too long for us to gather my thoughts, but that's wrong. No, we actually, shortly after the Twitch stream, we went on the road, that's right, to what you could call Cadbury's World, if England had such a thing. It's called Hershey Park, amusement park. Put my glasses in my pocket, first ride, got there, 2.5-hour drive, and smashed up my glasses. As you can see, it is just MacGyvered at this moment that was just part of this tale, but that's the only bit you're going to get. But anyway, hence we are late, but we're back, and we're going to talk about the game, which we did cover live on Skype. It was the first Blackburn Rovers watch along, and it was I would call it a mild success, a bit of a soft launch. I didn't really go all out and publicise it too much on the day of. But I want to say thank you to all the guys that did follow. If you want to watch the next Blackburn Rovers watch along, that will be up against Reading Saturday, and you'll be hearing all about it for the rest of the week. But anyway, let's talk about the game itself against Millwall. And it was a 2-0 victory for Rovers. What you and I could consider a business-like performance by Rovers. We got the goals in a game that was a little bit. It lacked a little bit of pizzazz, really, didn't it? But Millwall are like that. We could be a bit like that as well. But yeah, so again, a first half that was dominated. I would say possession-wise, I think we were always in control of it. But the stats don't really show that. But we seem to have the flow of the game was with us. But the real chances did fall in favour of Millwall, but they just didn't capitalise them in the end. 2-0 was the final score. First goal did happen upon us on the 18th minute, and it was a belter. One that should be in contention, if not already the winner of the Rovers goal of the season. And it wasn't Bradley Dack, it wasn't Big DG, it wasn't any of those attacking dynamos. It was Derrick Williams. Centre-back extraordinaire. Who needs Charlie Mulgrew when you've got the beast who's been scoring goals for fun of late? His second in about 3 or 4 games for Rovers, so not too bad way to start the season for Derrick Williams. This formation is wrong. This is what was posted on whoscored.com. We actually play 3 at the back. We'll have a look at the formation in a minute when I'll bring it up for you. 2-0 final score. The second goal was 75th minute. Bradley Dack. It was an important goal as well. Massive. It wasn't a picture book one as Derrick Williams was, but it was important because the game was on the fence. We were creating more chances in the second half. Millwall was just kind of keeping it tight and maybe trying to count us on the counter-attack, but they didn't get it. We got the second goal, which basically put the final nail in the coffin, and we got the 3 points. 11,873 folks were in attendance to see this game. We'll talk more about the formations and lineups in a second, but the stats show 14 shots apiece. Millwall dominated first half, we dominated second half. We did dominate possession 54%. Compared to their 45. We had a better successes with our passing. 81% of our passes reached their intended target. The dribbles were 6 apiece. Aerial battles were dominated by Millwall, 25-16, and also more tackles by them on the ground, 12-10. They also had more set pieces, which is their strong point, at 6 corners to our 2, and we were dispossessed 10 times as well. So let's take a look at the formations for you. Walton was between 6 for Rovers, obviously, as I could say here. 3 men at the back. Williams, Lenihan, and Tosin Abadabarayo was at the centre backs. Cunningham and Bennett was those overlapping, whatever you want to call, fullbacks, or bombardiering fullbacks. Then we had Downing in the centre alongside Buckley, with Johnson holding the field. So no Travis. This was a wild card team selection, wild card formation as well, and Adam Armstrong and Bradley Dack up top. I wouldn't necessarily say it was that. Dack was obviously doing his thing as a more of a maverick sort of role, just doing whatever he wants But it kind of worked a little bit. We did change it back to the more 4-2-3-1 formation that we customized with Rovers these days in the second half when we changed it back up a bit. But it's good. It's good to see us flip flop a little bit. Have a plan B up our sleeves. As for my match ratings, Walton got a 7. Williams got an 8 for me, man of the match. Lenham with a 7, and Thompson had a 5. He was substituted at half time. Into midfieldish, Cunningham with a 6. Downing with an 8. Very, very good performance for him. Johnson as well. Buckley not too great for me. It was a surprise to see him get a nod, but hey, it's part of our academy. We feed him in nicely, drip feed him in there, just like Travis. Bennett on the right hand side, better game for him as well. Armstrong at a 6, and Dack with a 7, customary goal for him. Over for our opposition was Millwall. Blaskowski between the sticks, Wallace, Cooper, Pierce, and Romeo. Mahoney, Thompson, Malumbi, Leonard, and Wallace, and Budvarsson had the pick up top. More stats for you coming at you. As you can see here, here's a bit look at the shots. The blue ones are Millwall, the orange ones are Rovers, like I said, 14 apiece. We had more touches than they did, 688 to their 592. We also had more passes, 525 to their 423 passes. Down the bottom there, you can see where the shots took place. 2 goals, 2 bottom right-hand corners, pick them out. Sonny, Jim, 5 were straight down the throat of the keeper as well. As for Millwall, only 3 of their shots on target. We had 8 shots on target, so that's a good stat for us. Just goes to show how good a keeper that Blaskowski is. You know, if he wasn't on his A game, it could have been 3 or 4 really, because our shots were on target. It's just fortunate for us that Millwall's shooting was a little bit wayward, with more shots off target than they were on target. And as you can see, whatever else, 2 offsides as well. Quick look at the heat maps. If you're a heat map man just like me, just goes to show that down the right hand side looks to be the sort of the avenue where a lot of stuff was taking place, and that was Bennett's area of expertise. He seemed to be very hot area here. And on the flip side, when Millwall had the ball, sort of be doing all their stuff on the left. So it looks to be like this was the big battle of the day, and also shows that Walton was also a busy man as well. Quickly, what else went on this weekend in the Championship? Derby Cardiff duked it out to a 1-1 draw on the Friday night kickoff. Then Fulham and West Brom did the same with a 1-1 draw. QPR picked up another win, 3-2 victory over Luton. Middlesbrough picked up a 1-0 win against next week's opponents, Reading. As for Hull, they duked out a 2-2 draw with Wigan. A big point for them away from home. Stoke lost at home once again to Bristol City. Swansea City lost as well to Nottingham Forest at home. Preston beat Brentford 2-0. Charlton lost to Birmingham. So that's their unbeaten streak gone. Sheffield Wednesday, under new management, Gary Monk picked up a 2-0 victory today. Huddersfield, obviously, new management as well with the Cowley brothers. And Barnsley duked it out to a 2-0 win away from home in the Yorkshire Derby. 2 zipperoonies, and this is what the table looks like. Leeds are back at the top of the pop. Swansea are now 2nd. Charlton remain in 3rd. Bristol City are 4th. Preston 5th. West Brom are 6th. Down the bottom, Stoke are 24th. Huddersfield 23rd. Barnsley are 22nd. Rovers are up to 12th. Our opposition this time out was Millwall. They dropped down to 15th. Next weekend, we have a star-studded lineup, as we always do. The early kickoff on Saturday will be Leeds United up against Derby County. Nottingham Forest will take on Barnsley on the Saturday. The game of the weekend, though, is Reading against Blackburn at the Majestic. You can catch that live on Twitch. Rooney boys can catch it live with me, with instant reaction and feedbacks. It's 2 for 2 now. We did one last season with Bolton. We won that, I think, 2-0. And obviously, last time out, we did it just now against Millwall, 2-0 victory. Can we make it a 3-peat with a 2-0 win? Maybe onto a lucky charm here. Brentford took on Stoke as well. We'll take on Stoke this weekend. Difficult game for Stoke as well to get anything from this. Luton against Hull as well at the Kenilworth Road. Cardiff against Middlesbrough. Bristol City against Swansea City. Millwall against QPR. Saturday, Wigan against Charlton. Birmingham against Preston. Sheffield Wednesday against Fulham. And into Sunday, West Brom against Huddersfield, who look, they just can't buy a win at the moment, folks. Now, that's a little bit what I've had to say about the match. What did the gaffer have to say shortly after the final whistle? Here is his thoughts. You might have heard them already because I'm late, but they're still here. Check them out.
Well, happy to an extent, not happy really. First half particularly didn't please me. A bit slow, a bit pedantic. We'd worked a lot the last couple of weeks on a new system. It wasn't very smooth. And yet, as I sit here now, it's 2-0 clean sheet, of the 4th clean sheet out of the last 5 games, 3 at home on the bounce. Let's take the points, let's move on to next weekend. I think so. I think Listen, the selection of the team now is pretty difficult every week, and then you look at the bench today, and you look at, Marty Bell didn't even make the bench today, and Ben Brereton's got to get himself fit and back in contention. So the squad is looking okay in my eyes, and we should be threatening the opposition as we did second half. We made a change, and we could have scored a few. I think Rothwell went through one-on-one, Armstrong went through one-on-one. Could have scored a few more goals second half, but we'll take 2-0 and we move on. Yeah, very unlucky. Listen, Lewis Travers got man of the match last home game, I think, and I wanted to play a different system. I wanted to play a different way against this team that I thought were going to come and be very direct. They weren't as direct as I thought. They pressed us a lot higher than I thought, but you have to put into context that was only their second defeat in 7 games, and they've been to the Hawthorns and got a draw. They've been to the Riverside and got a draw. And we, in the end, pretty clinically beat them 2-0. And as I said to the team, I want the mentality of the team to believe that they're going to beat anybody in this league, and any Saturday we should be trying to take 3 points. Yeah, listen, Derrick's always told me that his preference would be left centre half, and yet we had Mo Grew for the last 2.5 years playing left centre half, and so Derrick played left back. He said to me at the start of the season he didn't want to really be considered as a left back anymore. He wanted to play left centre half, and we, as a coaching staff, made a decision really. Charlie moved on because we felt Derrick's mobility, while he hasn't got a sledgehammer like Charlie in his left foot and doesn't really bend things in the top corner from 20 yards every second week. He's got a real empathy with Dara, with Lenihan. They're both Irish internationals, they're good mates, they talk, they criticise each other, they work on each other's games, they get around each other. I just think the chemistry of them two is pretty good, and they're both mobile, they're both aerially strong, they can both pick a pass, and it's showing over the last few weeks that they've had a few clean sheets, and the team are reaping the rewards of those clean sheets. We were toying who was coming off for Travis, to be honest, and there was a bit of a debate on the bench. Are we bringing Stewie Downing off? And yeah, I felt Stewie Downing in that period we put him into centre midfield, picked some amazing passes, as you said, went on a long busting run and slid Rothwell in. He just slows the game down, picks the right pass, allows the team to play their shape and be in possession, and yet that's the conundrum really, is can he run like Travis? Does he have the power of Johnson? The balance of the midfield is what we try and get right, and but I think at this moment picking a best team, he's probably got Stewie Downing in it, because week in week out he's very rarely giving the ball away. He's keeping us moving along. His legs at 35 don't seem to be a major problem to me. He's not really. I brought him off today. He's not moaning, but he would have easily got through the 90 minutes. Just delighted he's here. He's got a fantastic approach to football. Somebody with all that experience, played for England and played for Liverpool and some big teams. He's a wonderful character to have in our dressing room, and for young players likes of Travis to learn from, I hope.
You heard what the gaffers had to say. What did about the fans? What have the fans been saying on social media? Well, let's have a quick look at some folks here. Well, we got Martin, aka DDPY Yoga Fan 82. He says, happy with that. Should have been 3 or 4 up in the second half if it weren't for their keeper. Yep, got another clean sheet and goals from open play, boys. Gareth Batsby said, 3 points of the clean sheet. Now build on this momentum, high spirits and mood. Simon Woodford said, excellent win against an awkward opponent. Loving the clean sheet. On we go. Froggy in Texas said, manager gets a lot of credit today too. Great win. Indeed, because he did pull a massive wild card out there with that formation and that selection. Mark Whittle said this, another 3 points and clean sheet. First was poor, but a fantastic Williams goal made up for that. Second half, much improved performance, which was helped by the introduction of Gallagher and Rothwell later on. Millwall offered little, but we looked solid at the back once again. The one and only Deuce, guest on the show, said great result. Most predicted a similar scoreline to this one, which is when I worry the most for Rovers, but they've done a very professional job today. Della's having a great season so far, and that was some finish from the first. Only real complaint was the lack of atmosphere. Indeed, only 11,000 in attendance. Could be more. We should be doubling, if not tripling that. Big boys. If we were in the Prem, I'm sure those numbers will be sky high once again. Meanwhile, Martin, MJ22, said, what a great second half from Rovers. Great management from Tony Mowbray. Gallagher completely changed the game from the formation. Change killed Millwall. Superb. And Jamie Tobias, Amis said, cracking result for Rovers today and another clean sheet. And New York City Rovers said, Derrick Williams, Bradley Dack each get in on the goals and Rovers take all 3 points and keep another clean sheet against Millwall. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Tony Mowbray's Blue and White Army in DDO. And that is just about it, folks. But got a bit more for you before you, a bit of admin. So before we go, just want to clear up a bit of admin for you, folks. We have started our live coverage and we'll be back very, very soon. In fact, tomorrow we'll have our Championship live predictions for match day, whatever it is. I think it's 9 now out in the Championship. And then on Tuesday, we'll have Premier League predictions as well. No Champions League picks this week because the games are actually taking place. So I don't think we'll be doing that. I think for another week we'll have that Thursday off. But usually they're going to be on Thursdays. But stick around for the live shows on YouTube. They're a bit of a hoot. Usual time, around about 5 o'clock UK time, 12 o'clock over here. I'll hope to see you there. And also on Saturday we will be doing live Blackburn Rovers watch along once again, watching Rovers up against Reading at the Majayski. You can catch me with the instant screamers, hopefully, just like we did this weekend, folks. And yeah, that is it. Again, if you are watching this, if you're a Rovers supporter, get in touch with me so we know if you want to become a star of the show, be a guest supporter and all that kind of stuff. I've got one already lined up for Reading, and he is the Mexican Rover. That's right. Andre. That's all the Mexican I know. And then hopefully I'll try and find a Reading supporter. If you are watching this, Reading fans, and you can get in touch with me now, get in touch with me and we can sort it out. Have a little Skype. And you can be the star of the show. But anyway, I'm going to get out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you're new, smash the subscribe. New videos, hopefully every day. It's been a bit rough today, but we'll be back. Got to fix the glasses, but for a while you might notice these busted up bad boys. But anyway, I'm out.
Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.